Sure, if you don't know, man. You know we moving behind, bro. You in the city. We going to rock out tomorrow, but you know, first and foremost, family shit important. So that's why we here now.
100%.
Yeah.
ABN 05.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. It's your guy, E.D.I, and you back with a special edition of the Outlaw Show, man. And I'm so proud and honored and happy to be sitting here with one of my longtime partners in this game, but a H-Town legend, somebody that has done so much for the city of Houston, has done so much for hip-hop, and is a stand-up pillar in the hip-hop community. Trae the Truth, man, live from Houston.
My God.
So, I'm gonna get right to it, man. Unfortunately, you know, we had to greet each other on some very just unfortunate, disturbing news. Our mutual comrade, actually the person that first told me about Trae the Truth,
Noble.
was Young Noble.
R.P. Noble. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Noble, my first album that took me to national fame. He was on the main track, which is called Restless. Yeah. Crazy.
And so I remember when Noble first told me about you, and he was like, yo, man, you got to check out this dude named Trae the Truth from Houston. You know, we had been down here in the early 2000s, you know, rap a lot and doing music with Lil J. Shout out to the whole Rap a Lot family. They showed us love. They embraced us. They was probably the first family, and really the city of Houston was the first major city outside of Los Angeles to embrace us after Pop passed. And so Houston has always had a special place in my heart. But I remember we was in Atlanta, and Noah was like, man, he gonna pull up and we're gonna do a song. We're gonna knock a song out, you know. And I'm like, all right, no, with him, let's do it. And you remember that song we did, man? You know, that was a banger. It was we sampled some of that Ambitious as a Rider on that song, man. And you know, y'all can go check that out on some of the old Outlaw mixtapes. But I just remember your energy and your presence. It was always solid from that day on, and we always had that connection, man. Let's go back to the beginning, though. I like to go back to the beginning when I do these interviews, man, and talk about your entrance into the hip-hop game and how you got started.
Man, I think, well, most people who've been following me know my story. Rapping came from me just, you know, when you're young, you idolize your father, your big brother, big homie, just, you know, whoever that is that is real present in your life, you know what I'm saying? And it could be a big homie, a brother, whoever. Mine was my older brother, you know. I was younger, but in the midst of it, you know, just dealing with real life. You know, my brother was fighting life sentences when I was younger, but when he used to call home from jail, you know, he used to sometimes send his raps home, like through kites and shit like that. But when he called from jail, you know, I learned the raps, I recited with him, and I'll never forget, I started off rapping his raps, you know, which led to me trying to do my own thing. And man, I think I started rapping probably at the age of 12. First time ever being heard, I was 16. And my first official album that came out, I was 19. I've just been going since, man. And that's crazy. You got to think of that wavelength, man. That's being in the game, you know, and being consistent for down to 30 years, you know.
True story.
Yeah.
True story, and independent a lot of those years.
Oh, I've always been independent, man. So even when I did the deal with, the biggest I've done the deal with was with me and Rap a Lot, but that was a partnership between my label and J label, you know what I'm saying? But even still with that, we still moved as independent. So I've always had the looks of a major, but most of my stuff always been independent.
And so you get in the rap game. You said you dropped your first album at 1999. What was the journey like for you getting into game? Was it immediate success? Was it trial and error?
So for me, I would say success, right? Because when you come from nothing, even if you catch 10 or 15 people jamming your shit, that's
big.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From then, so I would always say immediate success, because within the first album, we gained a lot of recognition, man. And Screw had a lot of the music on all the Screw tapes, and being able to do that and gain a fan base without we didn't even think that it was a chance we had records that could even make it to radio at that point. Radio wasn't even an option, right? And so to be able to have fans, and our form of radio was Screw. So
right.
Being able to have that, and then you ride as you move and you see people riding around jamming your songs, it's like, oh, like damn, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you have any influences early in the game, like other rappers or other artists? It didn't have to just be rap too. It was just any music that influenced
I loved
music.
I loved all music. Of course, and of course it would be ironic to say, you have Pac, you have Spice One, you had Ghetto Boys, you had, man, I was a real hip hop head all the way from a lot of undergrounds from other places and from here, because even then, we had projects like DEA out here. Of course, anything with Screw, Bud, around DJ Quick. Like, I can take you through all walks of life musically, man. I love music as a whole.
That's right. I'm gonna jump around in this interview, man, but a question just came to my head that I wanted to ask you. Do you consider Texas, Houston specifically, because we're in Houston, but Texas as a state of whole, more of a southern state or a western state? And the reason why I asked that, because there's a lot of similarities between the West Coast.
Before you even said that. So no, we're a southern state. Don't ever get it twisted. But people really didn't understand, when you go to talk about something that's bridge, a lot of Cali, a lot of the Bay, a lot of LA was tied in with a lot of Houston, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always been that camaraderie, whether it be the dressing, whether it be the music, it's always been tied in a sense, man. So yeah.
That's why I always wanted to ask that question to somebody from actually here.
I gotta rep the South. This is the South, but definitely we definitely tied in with the West Coast real strong, man.
Okay. And so now you start dropping projects, independently. Texas is so big, man. And I remember back in the days when we used to come out here, I remember people would say, Texas is so big, you could go platinum in the state of Texas alone.
You got to think, we never even needed to leave, because we would do our normal circuit doing shows, normal circuit of people buying CDs, and it was enough to where we were making money that artists that were signed to majors was making. So when you have some of the bigger artists from across the world come down here, and they looking at how we ride and how we living and how we doing what we doing, they looking like, what the hell these niggas doing? You know what I'm saying? And so definitely, man, Texas alone, you can go platinum within Texas. You know what I'm saying? You can go gold within Texas. It's just a matter of just the support factor. And on top of that, you have to think, we one of them states that when you are a major, Texas have to be a part of that for it to make you get that full extent of sales. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was you have some markets when you'd be like, okay, I know I need to go to New York to do radio. I need to go to this. Texas is one of the ones you gotta move
Texas.
through.
Yeah. So big and so vast, and so many hip hop lovers down here in Texas, man. Texas love hip hop music, and they, I've always appreciated Texas hip hop myself. I'm a fan of Texas hip hop. I gone on record before and saying one of my favorite rappers all time was the late great Pimp C. Rest in peace, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, having have said that, a lot has changed, man. You know what I'm saying? From '99 when you started, and when I, of course, shit changed in life, period. But what I'm talking about specifically is the music industry. A lot has changed in the music industry. What's some of the things that you had to learn to do to adjust to be able to go from being an artist in the early 2000s to now it's 2025 and you got streaming and you got, you know, all these little different things that you got to do to keep your head above water in the game?
I think it's just the same as anybody who come from where we come from. You know, just when you came through life through the struggle in general, you always learn to adapt to your environment.
True story.
And the crazy thing is I've been blessed to see I was always younger than a lot of that generation from back then, but then I was older than the younger generation now, you know what I'm saying? So I've always caught all the worlds, but just adapted to it, man. You know, from the streaming to, you had the era of the cassette tapes to where it went straight to CDs to where it went straight to other things, and it's like you always have to adapt, but then you also have to adapt and make sure you're able to keep the fans' attention, make sure you're able to keep reinventing yourself, you know what I'm saying, to where some of the younger generation won't be like, oh man, what he making is old music, I don't want to hear that, you know what I'm saying? So you have to always adapt. But with me, I think one thing that I always had an advantage over everybody is just me being a genuine person I am. I always embraced everybody. So some of the youngest cats, that's some of the biggest cats in the world right now, at that time, people was walking right past them, not even acknowledging them, and I would always embrace them, you know? And I'm the type of person, it don't matter if you had 100 followers or 10,000 followers. Like, I just genuinely, if I like something, come on, man, let's do it. You know, like, I love being that real big homie that just do some stuff that they never been able to experience. Stuff that people will walk past and leave them hanging. You got somebody like, man, I see bro on TV, I see him on this, and he taking time out to come help me and he ain't got to. Like, for me, that's a blessing because I'm able to help somebody else and show them, hey, you don't always got to feel like you're out here on your own.
Yeah. Real big homie shit, man, and we need so much more of that in this game, especially with the, you know, the youngsters coming up. But you use the word that's going to spark this next question. Help. You always helping, man. You always helping the people, and you know, you've gone viral many times for helping people, especially in the state of social media and hip hop now, where people are choosing to go viral for bullshit and dumb shit. You managed to go viral for solid shit, for helping people. Like, what inspires you to do that? Why does Trae do that? You can go home and kick it at your crib and kick your feet up.
Yeah, well, before I touch to that, I'm gonna say the viral part, right? Even when I do the things that I do, it's never meant for it to go viral, right?
And you could tell that.
And it's a blessing because I've learned, you know, God has certain chosen ones, right? I can post about something and somebody way bigger than me can post about it, but for some reason, mine is more impactful, you know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing too. So a lot of times I don't think that it's to go viral. You know, a lot of times when I do the things I do, it's for awareness, because I'm going to the places that these cameras ain't going to. So y'all may think, oh, well, all the news people over there, they helping them, they good, don't nobody else need help. But then when I show you what's going on over here, and you like, damn, I didn't know that was going on. It's like I'm bringing the awareness, but also now it gets the same people who I'm over here helping, it gets them more help from other, you know, whether it may be from a genuine place or whether it may be just because they just want to be in the limelight. Right. Whatever that may be, for me, it's cool as long as these people get help because they need it.
Right.
But the reason for helping is, I think any human being on earth hate the feeling feeling like it's them against the world, feeling like you alone. You ain't got nobody to lean on, nobody to turn to, none of that. And just being able to be that moments that they probably want to tap out, crash out, and give up, to see somebody come through and genuinely not even thinking about themselves or what they got going on with their life. They stopping what they doing to come out here to be with you and be with y'all. I think that within itself, that give me the energy to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes,
believe it or not, so many times, so many people I've saved, I may end up coming back for a whole nother disaster or situation, and you'll see the ones that I help out there helping others. So I just planted that seed to get them. Now they like, shit, somebody did this for me, I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
It forward.
When Hurricane Harvey hit, I had to be saved, and instantly once I was saved, I was like, shit, I gotta get out there. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely make you pay it forward.
Something I've always admired about you, man, you know what I'm saying, and watching from afar the way you help people is beyond admirable. And you touched on something in your answer to that question as far as being, you know, at the end of your rope and feeling like giving up. And it's so fresh losing my brother, and, you know, less than 48 hours ago. And him feeling like it was over and he ain't have no other options. It made me think about mental health, and not only mental health, but mental health for black men. How do you cope? You know what I'm saying? How do you maintain? Because shit get crazy for all of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to touch on what you went through recently with your daughter. How did you manage to keep your sanity through that shit and not crash out?
I think that's, man, and it's different for each individual person, right? Because the thing, before I get into my personal, with the mental health, man, nobody know the silent battles people deal with. You know, people think that you come outside, people seeing you, whether you may be at a club, concert, or just moving around with your normal life, they think everything all right. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know you may have been, they don't know you may could have lost your mama. You may could have been going through something with your child, lost a relative. You might could have lost all the money you had. You like, nobody knows your personal situations. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times as black men, we taught to never let them see you sweat. You got to be tough. You can't really, you know what I'm saying? You can't really say much about it. So a lot of times people do their best to deal with it, but everybody ain't built to make it all the way through it. Even though people may feel like I'm strong, I got it. And sometimes a lot of people break. You know, it's selective few that can figure out how to just muscle their way through it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real bad problem, bro, you know, for us, because when I used to go through things, I used to just like to be by myself. And I felt that was fine until somebody brought it to my attention. That's a form of mental illness, because that's depression.
Isolating yourself.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, it works. That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day, I get like that. But a lot of times, man, we don't really know what a lot of things is. You got to think, when people would, so Charlemagne the God, who really always stayed on top of me for a lot of things, right? And he would always be like, you should go see a therapist. And the first thing you think when you think mental illness therapist, I ain't crazy. What I need to go, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But all the while, we deal with built up trauma, bro.
Yeah.
Over all these years, you got to think, like, we sitting here now, but nobody knows how I may feel about even waking up to see Noble gone, or how you may feel, or you know, or just different. I'm just giving scenarios of different situations. Nobody knows. Everybody think it's all right, and everybody else think they just got to deal with it. It'd be cool, but it's a lot when it comes to that. So I'm really trying to help a lot of people through them processes with the mental illness. And the way I cope, man, is honestly trying to be to myself, which that ain't always good. But I was blessed to be I'm able to vent through my music, right? So when I've been through my music and people are hearing my music or people are hearing certain things, the way that I feel, the way that I express it in the music, they feel exactly how I feel at that moment. And that's a talent that I was blessed to have, because I may not be able to cry at this moment or whatever that may be, but they may hear that song and tears will be running down their face, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's one of my therapies. My children are by far, and then just being out there with the people giving back. Those are things I love doing the most. And no matter what I'm going through at the moment, if I could do one of those three things, I could make it through them situations at that time.
Right on. And you brought up your children. You know, I noticed before we started the interview, your little mama hit you up.
That's my manager, bro.
She wanna know where you at.
Yeah, hey, how long is it gonna be for you get home? This, that.
Yeah, I got daughters, man, so I know how that go, man. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, this is my only daughter, and you know, it's my first. Cause I had boys, so with her, it's different, man. Like, I feel God made it to where I had her for a reason, because even everything we've been through, she still changed me for the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even at moments and times when things can seem dark as hell and black, she can come through that room and lighten it up for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
So,
right on.
That was supposed to be. She was supposed to be. God, He knew what He was doing with that.
Yeah. And you had to go to war, man. You had to fight a war that we all
with odds stacked against, because that war we usually don't win. We usually fail. Not even that we fail, it doesn't work out for our benefit.
It doesn't. And the irony of that is that, you know, we got this jacket of not wanting to be fathers and not, you know, taking care of our children as black men. But then you have a black man that wants to be in his child's life, and he got to go to war to make that happen. That don't make no good sense.
So one thing I used to learn, right, and it's crazy, man, in the court systems, they know they've seen it all, right? They have titles for a lot of this stuff that we wouldn't even be familiar with. But the issue is, let's just take me out the equation. Let's just talk fathers, right?
Right.
You have fathers that really may want to be in their child life, but them and the mom may not at work. And for whatever reason, the mom may feel she's not happy with them not working, or she may feel some way towards the father. You have situations where it's like, okay, I ain't good with you, so guess what? That's my child. So you're not finna see my child right now either. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's okay. And it's like, a child should never be weaponized or used as a pawn. You know what I'm saying?
No.
When it's all good, then yeah, you can see your child, but when you do something to piss somebody off, like, nah, you're not seeing the child. And I think that's a real messed up situation, in which I'm working hard now, right? Because with people watching my situation, a lot of fathers are talking to me. You know, they'll come tell me like, man, hey bro, I'm glad you got your daughter, this and that. And it's like, they be like, man, I wish I would have stayed fighting for mine. And for me, it's like, damn, you should have. You know what I'm saying? Not to be funny or not kick them. It's like, no, I want you to understand you really should have, because no matter how they pushed you, no matter how they stopped you, it's different ways you can go get knowledge. You can find help from people where it don't always got to be the lawyers that help you. You can actually find certain knowledge and do certain things for your kid, because the thing I help them to understand is the kids don't really got no say so. They can't fight for themselves. And even if God allow you to have that conversation with your child when they get old, if you've been missing, and they'd be like, why you ain't fight for me? And you'll be like, hey, well, they kept me away. But imagine when the child rebuttal is going to be like, but why you didn't fight harder? So you got to give it your all. Like when I was fighting for my daughter, I didn't know how that was going to be, because I was going through a million things at that moment. But the only thing I could think of is my baby going to know no matter what. Her daddy risked his life and did any and everything he could to make sure he got back to me. You know what I'm saying?
I saw the interview brought up Charlamagne the God earlier. I saw the interview you did recently with the Breakfast Club, and you had your little mama with you.
She with me all the time, to be honest. She was supposed to, well, she was trying to come with me today, but I'm like, nah, because I knew I was going to be sitting for a minute moving around, so I got to be at the Essence Festival, and she'll be right there with me. Like, she with me at all times. Like, it's so crazy, right? Because I show a lot of homies from the rap side, just to the street side, how to really be a father and just how to be a real big homie and, you know, a real G. And it's so crazy now. No matter, I can go to clubs, I can do anything. If I'm in town with my child, they may have something carved out to let them get over there and they're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Because I made it to where I bring my babies to my interviews, I bring my babies to wherever that may be. You know what I'm saying? And it's showing others you could do the same thing. But at this point, shit, my child work in the business the same way I work in the business, you know?
And I think that's dope, man. You know, me personally, I always kept my children away from what I did. And honestly, as I got older and as they got older, I regretted that a little bit. I should have had them, because my kids for a long time didn't really know what I did. You know what I'm saying? They knew I was a rapper, but they didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? And who I was affiliated with and all of that until they got older, because I didn't want them to bring around studios. We was smoking weed, guns and shit around, women. We wasn't living a lifestyle that I felt like was conducive to have children around, so I just kept them away. I love it when I see in the rap game having their children around now. You know what I'm saying? I think that's super dope that you do that. And one of the things that you never have done that you recently just revealed to me, you never smoke or drink.
Nah.
This whole time in the rap game, bro.
Yeah, I've always been my own leader. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time.
I like the reason you gave me though.
I'm gonna give you the reason now.
I want you to get that to them.
I don't knock people for what they do. You know, it's to each his own. Different people cope with things in different ways, right?
For sure.
So for me, coming up how we came up, you can be going through some of your darkest moments and you might be like, you know what, man, I need to smoke or I need to drink, you know what I'm saying, to ease your mind and put you on coast mode, shall I say. But at the end of the day, when it wear off, you right back to reality sinking in. And the reason why I chose not to is I like to go at everything head up. So however I feel at that moment, it can only get better from there. It don't necessarily get worse, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm dealing with it head up, it builds me to where I'm numb. From that point, everything, when whatever's going on, however I feel, at that point I'm numb to it. Everything else only gets better, you know what I'm saying? That would be like if you working out, right? And say you may hit your highest amount of weight, whatever that is, and you was struggling with it. But guess what? Anything after you've done it that first time, it becomes easier for you. So days by day, it get easier. Moments by moment, it get easier. You know what I'm saying? So I've done that in all situations. I just deal with whatever I got to deal with head up. And after that, I coast from that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily the best way for people, because if you ain't strong enough, the type of stuff I deal with will make you want to take, you know what I'm saying? You may want to take yourself out. You may want to just give up, whatever that may be. But also on the flip side, because I've done that so long and I grew myself to do that, it makes me stronger than the average individual. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, I know what you're saying, man. And I just want to say to the people, y'all looking at somebody that's successful that didn't have to smoke or drink. So you don't have to smoke or drink to be a rapper. We're not knocking it if you do, but I'm just saying it's no dress code to this shit. There's no formula that you have to follow to be successful or great in this game.
I tell people they gotta just be them, man. Like,
yeah.
Because the thing is, you have been either messed yourself off or missed your opportunity trying to be somebody else. Just be you, and it's gonna all work out when it's supposed to work out. You know?
Yeah. So I want to switch it up a little bit, man. Right now, we done talked about personal stuff. We done talked about life. We done definitely touched on mental illness. But I want to go back to something that, you know, I feel like your fans would want to know about you. So, first I'm gonna start off with your top 5 Houston MCs all time, in your opinion, and you can't put yourself on this.
Nah, you know, I'm naturally too humble for that anyway, man. Big Hawk, Fat Pat, DJ Screw. Man, like when you go to name just the click alone, I can give you 5. But when you go to just name, and we'll go straight screwed up click first. You have Hawk. These are my brothers: Hawk, Pokey, Pat, Screw. Then you have Mo and 3-2. Then when you just Houston rappers as a whole, one of the greatest lyricists would be K Reno. You had Street Military. Man, you know, you of course, you know, you had I mean, bro, it's so many different it's so many different classics, you know.
Man,
what I'm
I think
saying?
you gave me 5, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, because it'd be hard, man, because I listen to all types of music, you know what I'm saying? Like one of my favorite albums, G Rap the General, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many different realms of music, you know what I'm saying? But yes, it's a lot of dope talent.
Okay. I'm gonna do another top 5, man, and we, in case y'all didn't know, man, we currently sitting in the back of Trae the Truth's Maybach, or Maybach, if you want to say it right. We sitting in the back, chopping it up, doing this interview live from Houston. But I want to get your top 5 favorite cars. Cause it's a big car culture down in Houston, man.
So number 1 is gonna be a slab. Every young nigga
gotta be a slab, right?
Being in the slab on Swingers.
And tell them what a slab is on Swingers.
Slab is 9 times out of 10 old school classic cars, vintage cars. On Swingers, which is 84s, 83s, and of course, you know, Ticks and Wild Wheels have different versions now. Candy paint, you know, leather seats, whatever exotic interior, wood wheel with a bunch of music in the trunk, 5th wheels. That would be a slab. Love, of course, my Maybachs. Man, believe it or not, my day-to-day favorite car right now probably be my Cybertruck.
Tesla got Tesla Cybertruck.
I got a monster truck, and it's, even though it's I love the truck just for what it is, I actually bought that truck strictly for saving people within the flood. That's one of my ones. You know what Apocalypse is? That's my 6-wheel Jeep. I got a 6-wheel Jeep. They came out of Florida. Crazy thing.
6-wheel Jeep.
If you open up my door, mine was the 10th one ever made in the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
It's man of the world type.
Yeah. It's man. It's quite it's a lot of nice cars out here, man. And I got to a point now, man. I just jump in whatever I want to jump in and just keep it moving. Like, you know, when you get to a point, you be amazed at different cars. When you get so used to it, it's like, I wouldn't care if it was a hoop I was in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just get up and go.
So you said slab, you said the Cybertruck.
Slab, Cybertruck, of course the Maybachs. I got the Carter truck, the monster truck, the 6-wheel Jeep. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna pop out next, but
you got one more. That was 4.
You can have multiple slabs off the rip, but
so at least 2 slabs.
But I also got the Maybach truck too, so that's another one of my favorites. I don't know, man. I'm cool with all of them. Yeah, but slab would be number 1.
Now we spoke about hip hop in the beginning. I want to take it back to the music because you just dropped a new project. You steadily dropping projects. It's always consistency. Your music is always consistent. It's always dope. What continues to inspire you at this point?
Remember that's what was therapeutic for me. That's what helped me to get through my music is my smoking and drinking. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's see, so I'm gonna show you. This, I got folders of unreleased music, right? Read how many songs that is right there. That's just one folder.
Hey.
You see how many is that?
Yeah.
That ain't even, this the part that's gonna fuck you up. Read that many. Read bottom number 9.
This all you.
Everything.
God damn.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Put like this, bro. Okay. I could put music out the rest of eternity with,
right.
with nothing.
Clearly, with that kind of catalog, you absolutely can. And so, you said what inspires you. As hip hop continues to grow and it gets older, and hip hop artists get older, do you think there is an expiration date on hip hop artists, or are we finally at a point where age doesn't matter anymore in hip hop?
I think, man, it's what you make it. Cause who's to say you too old? Who's to say you not? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people. Well, I'm gonna speak for me. I make a lot of timeless music. It's music people are here now that was done 7-8 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So it's just about what you make and how you evolve as a whole. I don't think of age necessarily matter. That was just like, think about it. If Pac was living right now, do you think a person could tell him he can put out an album right now and people wouldn't listen to it? You're gonna listen to it. It's just certain artists. Yeah. Now if you an artist that's came up and recognized by the times, and you know you part of a fad or something, then it's like, yeah, your shit may expire. Like, we ain't on dance music right now. We not on this type of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as a whole, no. You got to think, just even with yourself, like, we steady do music that's relatable, that the people can understand, that they can gravitate to.
Great answer, by the way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think nobody would hate on older artists if a lot of older artists wasn't bitter at the younger artists.
That's a fact.
So if you give the youngsters their card and you try and help instead of tear them down, you wouldn't be considered as old like that. It's the bitterness that make, you know what I'm saying, people feel like, all right, yeah, your time expired.
And that's one of the reasons why I always try to just get the youngsters their space, man, because it's their turn, you know what I'm saying, to do it and put their own spin on it. And when it was our turn and we put our own spin on it, we didn't care what nobody said about what we was doing. Right. You know what I mean? And we wanted to do it the way we was doing it. And I feel like they have the right to do it the way they want to do it, whether I like it or not. You know what I mean? If I don't like it, I don't buy it. But I don't want to not see them do what they do.
Because if not, like, what would you rather see them do? Crashing out, hurting themselves, doing something goofy, you know what I'm saying? Like, allow people opportunity, man, you know, and that's the problem with a lot of people in general. You know, like, they push people to do certain shit that end up fucking these people off, you know what I'm saying? When all the while, you could have just gave them benefit of the doubt. They may not have been for you, but you could have just gave them the chance, you know?
Now, you've done so much in this game, man. You've done, you know, movies and music and cartoons and helping people. And what's next for Trae, man? Is there any exclusive we can get that don't nobody know about that you got coming, that you're working on?
I mean, something that's real heavy, of course, is my company with my brothers, Bump Box, you know. That's one of our biggest prizes right now.
Still waiting on mine. I still
easy, Kyle. You when we get out of here, you get the address and that's done. Definitely got a new cartoon coming out. In the process of working that, I teamed up with Martin Lawrence and Runtail for that.
Nice.
Me and Philly Flyboy definitely gonna be working on new movies. You know, believe it or not, man, my daughter Truth is a star within herself. So I let each one of my kids do whatever they want to do. So
She got a lot of personality, man. So I can see it.
She light up a room, so she want to do acting. She want to do cartoons. She love music, rapping and singing. And as of lately, she draw a lot. So I'm pretty sure we'll be figuring out something. Because a lot of people tell me we should have a show just how people see us interact within ourselves.
I can see that, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just, it's a little bit of everything, man. And then I'm real big on doing different things for my kids. Like my son Nico, that's my disabled son. He have his foundation, Unique and Gifted, which he made a super imprint within the special needs community. We got special needs there where we bring thousands of families out, take care of them. And my son Houston in the fashion. I teach him business too. Houston got a game truck. That's your hustle. All that money that come that's yours. Like Truth won an ice cream truck that said ice cream and stuffed animals. That's in the works for her. So it's like, I be big on just doing what I can for my little one.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Man, this is I appreciate you taking the time out to chop it up with me. If there's anything you want to give to people, man,
man,
let's do it.
With me, it's crazy thing, right? Like, I don't do many interviews, you know what I'm saying? But if you're watching one of your bros do his thing, it's like, I'm big on support. That's like when I told you, I'm like, whatever you need, just let me know. Let's knock it out. You know what I'm saying?
And you always been like that with us, man. I always appreciate that about you, man. And, I know my brother always appreciated that about you as well. Never not one time you ain't answered the phone. Niggas reached out.
Yeah, I feel like, man, it costs $0 to be real with your partner. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that. It's like, man, I'm here for the support. I want to see you elevate. You know what I'm saying? Just like I tell Gilly and Wallow and them all the time. Like, I remember before the podcast when bros would be just, whether it be out here with me or supporting what we had going on, is like just to watch so many of your homies elevate. You're supposed to be proud for them, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I be real big on trying to reach back and do whatever I can for all my people, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you uplifting your own, what happens when you may be going downhill? You may need one of them to lift you up at some point, you know what I'm saying? But people don't think like that. Other than that, man, people can check out my album Angel for sure. I feel like that's one of my prized possession albums just for everything I went through. I got my own shoes with Factory Lab. Make sure y'all check out the Night Runners Truth Edition. Clothes coming out with Built Off Heartbreak. Sorry I Was Trapping. Merch, I mean, bro, a little bit of everything, bro. You just tried my new juice with
I did.
Barrio Land, Truth Melonberry. Like, I'm just
and it was good, y'all.
I'm in a little bit of everything, man. So I just like to stay busy, bro. When I ain't busy and I'm not working, I feel like I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm at a standstill and I'm not achieving it. So I work best when I'm busy and I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
That's when you're gonna get that's what make diamond.
That's some cancer right there, man. With cancers, man. I'm the same way. Happy belated birthday to you, man.
Same. Look,
mine on Monday, man.
Happy early
man.
birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you once again, man. Pulling up, ladies and gentlemen. Trae the Truth, live from the back of the Maybach, man. Houston, Texas. Y'all know what it is, man. Rest in peace to Young Noble.
R.I.P. Noble, man.
Yes,
all
indeed.
The rest of the fallen soldiers too.
100%.
And man, if you got somebody out there you love, man, let them know. Because sometimes people gotta understand this life ain't promised to us, man. We gotta appreciate and value the moments. Like, think about it. If E.D.I was here and say something could have happened, I could have bumped into him now. Like, oh yeah, I'll catch you next time. Like, you gotta value people when they there, man. Always.
100%, man. I appreciate you once again, man. Outlaw Show, man. We gone.